You may have seen some cryptic posts lately from WWE Games' social media accounts. Today we're going to go through the meaning behind these posts and what's next for the game. Community user What's the Status found strings in the game's code after the last update for Uncle Howdy 24 and the Fiend 23, which brought up some speculation on whether a new character was being added or the models were being updated. Over on X, at WWE Games posted the following, the date of 10/16/24 in several posts alongside different emojis, a red circle, a rocking chair, rabbit and a globe with two hands. Now any wrestling fan would know that these can all relate to the late Bray Wyatt and his characters. At WWE Games followed this up with the following post that reads, "Follow the buzzards," and again the same date. 1 hour later, the same account then posted the words "Let me in" and a trailer which you can see on your screen now. This trailer shows off images from the Firefly Funhouse and a new model for Bray Wyatt's Fiend character, as seen in the Becoming Immortal documentary, along with several quotes from Bray's characters over the years. The trailer ends by once again showing the date of 10/16/24. And what we now know is that this is a new DLC pack for the game that also releases as its own standalone edition. Now there's lots in this DLC pack, with the standalone DLC featuring 3 characters: the Fiend 23, the Mattel Elite Series Bray Wyatt, and Bo Dallas as Uncle Howdy. MyFaction cards of the Fiend, the Bray Wyatt action figure and Uncle Howdy are also included. The Firefly's Funhouse Friends MyFaction Manager card is also in this DLC. Now these are the puppets from the Funhouse, but they won't appear at ringside. 15,000 VC and the Fiend's Championship title. The Bray Wyatt edition of the game is a separate release and includes everything in the standalone DLC pack, but 67,500 VC instead of 15,000. So let's have a look at some of these entrances then. We're going to start with the Bray Wyatt action figure, which comes to the ring using Bray's older theme, Live in Fear. Trons and the Fireflies are also present, and the action figure comes to the ring carrying a lantern. Incidentally, the entrance does start with the graphics used by Bray during his time as the Eater of Worlds. This version of Bray has a slow walk to the ring, and the head of the action figure has a creepy smile to it, which reflects Bray's character. The lantern does get blown out at the end of the entrance, but something to note is that the action figure's face doesn't change. But this is the same for all of the Elite style action figures within the game. The next entrance we'll look at is the new Fiend, whose entrance starts with the Firefly Funhouse graphics before cutting to a darkened out arena with "Let me in" on the Tron. This is very similar to the Fiend that's already in the game, and the motions are also very similar. The Fiend enters using a remix version of Live in Fear named "Let Me In." This model is the same as the one seen in the Becoming Immortal documentary, and is actually something that Bray never got a chance to wear on television as he evolved the Fiend's character. The updated Fiend mask contains an upside down version of the mask on the back of the head. The ring attire is also updated compared to his base model. The lantern is still present, with it being a similar shape to the Fiend's mask with an open mouth. After leaving the lantern ringside and posing in the middle of the ring, the entrance ends with the Fiend sat in the corner. The final entrance that we're going to look at is the new version of Uncle Howdy. This entrance is exactly the same as the one in the base game, with only the character model seeing subtle differences. The most notable difference is that the beard is now black instead of grey. We know as advertised it's Bo Dallas behind the mask, so hopefully 2K will allow this mask to be removed so the player can create a Bo to use as a separate character. Some models in 2K24 can have their mask removed, while some show a generic face. Something to note though, Bo Dallas has appeared recently on TV as himself and under the Uncle Howdy mask. In terms of MyFaction content, all of the playable cards are diamond grade and from the Powerhouse playstyle. The manager card sees the Firefly Funhouse puppets featured, however, like any other manager card within MyFaction, they will not appear at ringside, but will just give your faction a boost. The Fiend Bray Wyatt 23 is 93 rated with Sting Like a Bee at level 3, Rabble Rouser at level 2 and Slippery Eel at level 1 as the character's badges. Uncle Howdy is rated 92 and has the badges Sting Like a Bee at level 2 and both Going In Hot and Slippery Eel at level 1. The Elite Bray Wyatt action figure is rated 91 and has Sting Like a Bee, Rabble Rouser and Slippery Eel all as level 1 badges. So that's all for this update to WWE 2K24 and the extra DLC pack that's not part of the season pass. So what are your thoughts? I'd love to hear them in the comments. Will you be picking up the standalone version of the game or just the DLC? Personally, I think it's good to see that they've added an updated version of the Fiend and pretty much dedicated this edition of the game to Bray Wyatt. There's more videos in WWE 2K24 on the channel, from guides to DLC previews, so feel free to check those out if you haven't already. Some of them will be on your screen shortly.